Hello again and welcome back to another investment guide video. Now before we start this video, I think it would be appropriate to go over how the things have developed that I talked about in my last video. Keep in mind this was in August, so quite some time has passed since then, and I recommended 4 items for pickup, and let's talk about them now. Obviously, as is foreseeable, the revolver case went up in an increase. Surprisingly, the smallest increase on our list, going from 36 cents to 43 cents, giving you an increase of 19.4% on your investment since August. Not a tremendous increase considering the Csgo market, but nevertheless quite a good increase. Then we are talking about the liquid fire Holo. I mean, I saw this coming from 700 miles away because the supply demand was a real mess, and still is actually. It went from 7.27 to 9.47 a pop, which is a 30% increase. I hope some of you took that advice and got quite a few of those. Then I talked about Furia Holos in general, like any Furia Holo, but the example I showed in the video was the drop Holo, and at the time it was worth 1.39 euro, and it's now up to 1.98 euro, resulting in a 42.4% increase. And then we have the Cloud 9 Holo Antwerp, 7.21 to 8.68. And that is a 20.4% increase. So everything I really showed you has seen quite a sizable increase, some of the things more so than the others. I just want to give this retrospective as sort of a, little credibility to what I'm actually saying, because beforehand there was none. So here you can see sort of a retrospective of what I've recommended in the past and how that turned out. Now I will also say that in that video it was titled "Do this instead of Antwerp Capsules." Now if you are not aware, we have seen 100% increase in the Antwerp Capsules legends and legends autographs, which is obviously something that you need to take into consideration as well, because if you ignored my advice and instead just bought Antwerp legend capsules, you would be better off today. But I think in retrospective that is a riskier investment, and perhaps a more boring investment and very much more volatile investment than diversifying in such a manner that I showed in my previous video. Now with all of that out of the way, let's move on to today's video and the new items that I am recommending for January of 2023. Now another disclaimer before we get fully into this is that the CSGO market is obviously quite volatile, and you should never put all your eggs in the same basket, so to speak. You should not go full tilt invest into the CSGO market whatsoever, and if you do go kind of hard into it, you should never rely on just one item. You should always diversify. That is a good tip right now. Now, something that I think my last video was lacking was low cost alternatives for people who don't have that much of a capital, for people who is trying to work up their capital. Now I am going to also, this is just my advice, my thing that I'm telling you about. This is not factual, obviously. I can't really know what is going to happen in the market. I can only insinuate what I am thinking is going to be happening to the market. Obviously, I am not any different than you. I don't sit on any hidden tapped knowledge. I just have done quite a lot of research into the market and what has been working in the past, and if it's anything that is prone to repeating the past, it's the CSGO market, because we've seen it ever since CSGO was first released and skins were first released in the Arms Steel update. The exact same things are happening. And what is that? Well, in short layman's terms, it's basically anything that has a small supply is eventually going up in value. It's always been, always will be. It's what we have seen with the old school cases. It's what we've seen with the old school stickers. It's what we've seen with the old school weapon skins. It's what we see always. Sometimes you have these small increases, these pockets of hype that really boost certain items, and sometimes they actually boost them and they stay put up there. But most of the time we are talking about a dwindling supply and a beginning demand. That is always, you can say always, because it's like 99% of the cases in the CSGO market, that is what happens. So the first thing I'm going to talk about, with all of that being said, with all of the disclaimers being put out there, is the Great Wave, which is a sticker from the Riptide collection, right? If you do not know, Operation Riptide had stickers you could claim during the operation with some stars. And obviously not everyone claimed these stickers, and because of that you can see we have 11,000 people wanting to buy one and 236 of them being up for sale. Now, disclaimer also before anything, all of this, obviously I don't have a big reach, so market manipulation is not really a goal of mine here, but most of the stickers and items I'm going to be talking about in today's video, I do have a supply of. Just to put that out there with full transparency, obviously if I really believe in an item, I have already made sure that I have some of them. So that is something that I did wrong in the last video, because the one I suggested most, the drop Holo, the one that went up in price most of the ones that I suggested, I mean, that one I hadn't myself picked up many of, so that is a big error from me. But here you can see we have 62 cents. I guess they just got bought here, but yeah, around 65 cents I think is realistic. You can pick up these Great Wave stickers. Now the Holo version and the foil version are quickly going up towards 10 euro, and the thing is, there is another of these stickers that has a Holo version that is 10 euro, which is the Liquid Fire sticker. Now the Liquid Fire paper is sitting comfortably at 2 euro, whilst the Great Wave is sitting at only 62 cents, which is something that I think is a ticking time bomb, because this Holo version is following the same trend as the Liquid Fire Holo, but the Great Wave paper is not yet following the same perpendicular line with its Holo version like the Liquid Fire paper is. Hence why I think this will probably rise in the foreseeable future to somewhere around where the Liquid Fire paper is today, so somewhere around 1.5 to 2 euro, and that is something that I truly believe in. I really have a lot of hopes for this sticker. Now obviously, as I said before, no one has a crystal ball where they can just look and see what is going to be happening, but I think this is a quite sound investment right now, because I don't really see this going down in value because of the supply being absolutely low. We are talking incredibly low, with only 233 listed. That is not a lot to talk about when these are actually getting applied quite regularly and on a conveyor. So definitely suggest picking up one of these. Let's move on to the next one. Moving on to a very tried and true investment item. It's the Battle Scarred sticker from Operation Broken Fang. Now this is a very unique sticker, one of a kind, and both this version and the Holo version I am recommending for you. So this is kind of a double trouble sort of situation here. I would recommend buying the normal version, I would recommend buying the Holo version. Why? Because this is basically the only sticker from Operation Broken Fang that is constantly being applied, and a classic. You know, a lot of people use these stickers on their items. We have countless crafts on the AK Slate, countless crafts on the AK Elite build, countless crafts on any slated weapon, USP whiteout, we're talking MP7 whiteout, you know, all of these dark end weapons. I've also seen a lot of Basilisk crafts, I've seen AK Jaguar crafts, you know, anything that has to do with the jungle or anything that has kind of an open slate to paint on. People use the Battle Scarred stickers quite a lot. Now, this is the only sound investment, I think, from the Broken Fang operation. It's quite a dead operation in terms of sticker applying, except for this particular sticker. Now, this one is already €2, and as you can see, the supply is way higher than the Great Wave. That's why I don't think this is as good of an investment, and I don't think this particular one is going to see any sort of boom in the same way as the Great Wave. That being said, I think this is a sound investment, and it has proven to be, as you can see from the ridiculous graph. Now, here we are seeing something that we really like to see. We're seeing sort of an hiatus period right now. You can see it went up to €2, went down to 1.6, went up to €2, went down to 1.6, went up to €2, went down to 1.6, and went up to €2. Now, I don't know how many more cycles it has, because it can cycle again like this. Boom, 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 you know? It's because people are unloading. This is what this is telling me. People are unloading, and then people see the price rise, and then people are unloading again, right? But when everybody has unloaded, there are no more to be, you know, to be unloaded. And that's what I'm talking about. That is what we are seeing. That's why we like to see stagnant parts in the market like this, because as you can see, every time we see a stagnated part like this, you can see every single time when the market has been stagnant for a little bit, it results in a boom. Always, always. That is just one of the rules of these CSGO supply-demand sort of stagnations that you see quite a lot. Eventually you run out of stickers, right? And that's when it's going up. And as you can see, it has been proven just with this sticker. We see it 1 time here, we see it 2 times here, we see it 3 times here, we see it 4 times here, and we see it 5 times here, and we see it 6 times here. It's happened 6 times already with this specific sticker. It's gonna keep happening. This is one of those where I would say you gotta have a lot of patience, though. I don't really expect this one to be super skyrocketing, like never, never, never. This is gonna slowly increase in value over time. It's a sound investment if you just want to put something aside, take it out in a year again, and see what's happened. It's not going to have gone down, that's for sure. It's an interesting investment, and I think that is a good alternative to the Great Wave if you want something that is more trusted. I don't think it will have the same volatility and ping that the Great Wave is going to have, in my honest opinion. Obviously no one can see the future, but I think this is a sound investment if you want something that is a little bit more stable but still constantly on the rise. So yeah, that's why I recommend this one. And its Holo version. They're both kind of in the same boat, so pick and choose depending on your budget. Alright, moving on. This one is a bit of an explainer, right? This one is much more of a gamble, a risk than the other ones, I reckon. But hear me out. I'll tell you exactly why I think this case sits on something. Now, we've seen the recent boom in the breakout case, and the breakout case is going up because of the butterfly knives that are in it, and obviously it's the only case with the butterfly knives in their OG finishes, and I do understand why that makes the case absolutely incredibly hot for stuff like that. But this case is an absolute classic, this one right here. We have stuff like the USPS Guardian, we have stuff like the AK Redline, and we have stuff like the AWP Asimov. And not only that, on top of that, we have the first knives ever released in CSGO. The OG knives, we're talking Karambit Fade, we're talking Bayonet Slaughter, we're talking Flip Knife Knight, you know, we're talking about the OG knives, including stuff like the Gut Knife, Boreal Forest as well, of course. But because of the OG knives, you can get stuff like the #1 case hardened patterned Karambit Blue Gem, currently selling at $1.2, $1.5 million. You know, you have great potential in this case, and you also have these slapping OG skins that are just, in my opinion, currently just waiting to explode. Like, if someone picks up on this truly and buys up a lot of these, then we're gonna see a permanent price increase. Because the thing about this is, you see, we have over 250,000 requests to buy, and we have 16k on sale. 16k is incredibly small for a case. Cannot be overstated. Such a small supply for a case. It's incredible, and it's so volatile. When you have these few on the market, you have a very volatile situation. However, this case was dropped in excess, and I cannot stress enough that people may be sitting on thousands upon thousands of these. People are sitting, for a fact, on tens of thousands of these. There are singular inventories with over tens of thousands of these bad boys on them. So that's the thing. The supply might look low, but I bet you it's not that low. However, a lot of these big investor Andes who sit on 10k cases of different cases, they are not looking to sell ever, basically. That's the thing about the CSGO market. A lot of people are in for the long haul and the long haul. And therefore, it's quite unpredictable to tell when these people will unload, when this might result in a price dip. A lot of these people are clever too, so they won't make it result in a price dip. However, I think with all of the old school banger items in this case, and the fact that it has the OG knives, I think the Operation Phoenix case is the next case to do a breakout, so to speak. Or at least that's my personal opinion on it. You can form your own opinion, obviously. There are a bunch of cases that you could still invest in. I would recommend the Revolver case still. I would recommend any Operation case, basically, except for the breakout. I think the glory days of the breakout is over, but I would still recommend picking up the Operation Vanguard, the Operation Wildfire is good, Operation Riptide, Operation Broken Fang, and that is basically it. Don't pick up Operation Hydra cases. I think the supply is too small to predict anything with that, and the demand is way too small as well. But definitely for the big cases, the cases that are sitting around 1 to 2 euro right now, I think a boom is coming, because the cases we have in circulation are the cases we have. Of course, you can get one of these cases through a rare case drop. However, that is very, very unlikely. And since we are out opening cases from dropping anyways, I don't see a world in which this is going to go up in supply, you know, from the game. It's never going to happen again. So because of that, it's quite a surefire investment with all of these Operation cases. Yeah, so that's that. And as the final advice I'm going to give, I'm going to tip you off about the Train 2021 collection. I think this collection in particular is very interesting and intriguing. It's already gone up quite a bit in value. Everything has about 2x since the operation was released, but the potential is not yet fed. If we see a new operation without the Train collection, without these collections, which in my honest opinion is highly likely, we will see an immediate super boom in these collections. Not only the Train collection, we're talking the Dust 2 collection, and we're talking the Mirage collection, and we're talking the Vertigo collections for 2021. All of those will see an immediate boom if the next operation comes out and it does not feature these collections, which is something that I find highly likely, because we are talking about the next operation including the Anubis collection, because we need it if we're gonna have a major on Anubis. I think we are going to see some other very new collections. We are not going to have these old ones to fall back on, and I think a key part of that belief is the fact that the Anubis collection is going to be introduced for the next update, for the next mayor, and it might as well be included in the next operation. Now, of course, this is heavily based off of speculation, and it might very well go the other way as well. If the train collection is reintroduced in the next operation, then obviously these items as a result will go down in value instead. So this one is you gotta be a little bit cautious when investing in this, but I would definitely recommend picking up some stuff from here. I think the things I would recommend most is stuff like the USPS whiteouts, and just like the pop-ups are pretty good because they are AWPs, obviously. They are gonna be high demand. I would also recommend stuff like the M4, Fizzy Pop. Stuff like that is going to be tried and true, and they are gonna shoot right up if we see an operation where the train collection is not included. And yeah, if you want something else that is more surefire, I would go for, as I told you in the beginning, the Operation Riptide sticker collection, because that has Riptide branded right onto it, so they can't reuse that in any way, shape or form. But with all of that being said, I think that is going to mark the end of today's video. I hope I got some things spot on right now, such as I did back in August, because if I did, then hopefully I could help some of you guys out. Now, if you were wondering what to buy, I hope you have a more surefire way of understanding. I'm probably gonna name this one Overlooked CSGO Investments. Try this instead of Rio Capsules, because Rio Capsules are going nowhere fast. However, I think it's most important to tell you that I have stocked up on those as well, and I think you should too if you want to. I don't think they will go down particularly a lot after the sale is over, but I'm not expecting a super boom either. We'll see what happens with them. But I picked up some stickers, I picked up some capsules, I picked up some extra Cloud9 and mouse stickers too, if you want to know which stickers I am leaning into. And I have quite an open variety of capsules. So that's my 2 cents on it. You could invest in Rio Capsules if you want. It's a very big gamble though, because no one is gonna apply them, but the supply is probably going to be way smaller than Antwerp. It's a coin toss at the end of the day. Do it if you want, but I think every single investment I've talked about in this video is a more surefire bet than the Rio Capsules. So yeah, I agree with the title of the video. Definitely check out these investments, and let me know down below in the comment section if I helped you out, and if you picked up any of the items that I tipped you off about here. With all of that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Until then guys, goodbye.